guys, it's Dalena here at Mr. Sewing Machine, back with another video of Stitch It. Today we're going to be fixing belt loops on jeans. Sometimes through wear and tear, our belt loops come undone. So today I'm going to show you how to fix it with the easiest method possible. The tools you're going to need for this project is a little piece of fabric. I like to use the Madeira Avalon Cutaway Strong that you can actually purchase on MrSewingMachine.com online. Using this will actually help stabilize the stitches in order to keep that hole closed on your jeans. And then of course, you can always use just a little piece of fabric, like another scrap piece of denim that matches your jeans, or any other kind of fabric that won't be itchy to your skin, since it will be touching your skin. And of course, you'll need a pair of scissors. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take that little piece of fabric. You're actually going to put it on the underside of where your hole is. So you can see on the underside here is my hole. You're actually going to place it right there in the middle. Flip it over. And before we start, these little frayed edges here, I'm going to go ahead and just cut them, just so that they don't show up at the top. There we go. Put that piece of stabilizer back on there. And then we're ready to begin sewing. On our Baby Lock Brilliant here, we have a nice stitch that's perfect for the project that we're doing right now. So here, up here in the cover, it's a little small. Stitch number 39 is the honeycomb stitch. So I will type it in right here. We already have our utility stitch selected. I'll type in 39, and then I'll show you a little display of the stitch that you will actually be sewing, which is this honeycomb design there, as well as the foot we're using, which is the J, which I already have put in there. So now we're ready to start sewing. So we're going to take this and place it underneath the presser foot, lining up that hole with the center notch of our presser foot. And then you'll have the edge of the hole just before where it starts stitching, so we make sure that we capture the ends of it as well. We want to make sure that no frayed ends are left behind. So then once you have it in place, go ahead and put your presser foot down and begin sewing. I'm reaching the end here, so then I'll just lock it in a couple times, and then I'll cut my threads. Then I'll go ahead and trim the tails from the top and the bottom. So you can see here, if you take a little bit of a closer look, I'll show you the front side first. It sealed that in. And in the back side, it attached a stabilizer to it. But of course, whenever you start pulling it apart, you start to see a little gap showing in between. So we're actually going to reinforce it by stitching again. This time, instead of stitching down the middle, we'll stitch on either side, making sure that the honeycomb stitches capture the center here, as well as stabilizing it right over there. So this time, instead of lining it up in the center, we'll offset it to the left so that the center notch is right down the right side. Then you'll stitch again. Locked it in, cut our stitches, lift it up. Then I'm going to trim again the tails. So now you see another set right on the right side that helps hold it in. Then we'll do the same thing on the left side. Okay, so now we have it lined up, and then we'll stitch again. We'll lock it in and then cut our threads. Trim the last tails here. So now you can see that it's all reinforced right in those stitches. So then we're actually going to attach the belt loop back there. And of course, if you wanted this to blend in, use a thread that actually matches the color of your fabric. I'm using a lighter one here so that you can see clearly the honeycomb stitches. And then this, you would want it to match the color of the actual stitches, which is usually this yellow color on denim jeans. So we'll place it there and we'll go back to a straight stitch on our machine. So this will be number 3 with our needle in center position. So now you see there's a straight stitch there. We're still using the J-foot. Then we'll place it underneath our presser foot, making sure we line it up well with that line. We want it to blend in. And on this part, we're actually going to go forward a couple stitches. And it's going to be really thick in there, so just make sure you take your time with it. And then once you reach the end part of that stitch line, you'll want to reverse to lock it in. And we'll do this step a couple of times just to make sure that we got it right in there. And then I'll go ahead and do one more time. And then we'll cut our threads. And then trim our tails like always. Then you can always come back here and trim any excess fabric that you have around the stitch. Remember not to cut too close because we want to keep those stitches in place. So I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch around here. And just make sure you don't go and cut the jeans again, but at least if you do, you'll know how to cover the holes up. There you go. So now it's all nice and clean on the inside as well as the outside. And that's how you fix belt loops on jeans. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any upcoming videos, and follow us on social media platforms at mrsewingmachine.com. Don't forget that we have that stabilizer here in store as well as online, and I will see you next time in our next Stitch It video.